is it not, your name?
That's right.
And how long were you a farmer?
How long have I been farming?
Yes.
All my life. And that's been quite a few years. When I was a kid, I used to do a lot of farm work. I mean, from 10 years up.
And what type of, is it time to start planting? When in the year do you start thinking about beginning your work for the garden?
Just as soon as you can work the ground.
As soon as you can work the ground?
Yeah.
And what are some of the first things you should plant?
Oh, you can plant potatoes is one thing that most people plant, and then they plant little garden things, peas and radish and lettuce and some kind of greens.
And it's okay to go ahead and put the seeds in the ground now?
Oh, just as soon as you can work the ground, yeah.
When you first started farming, how did you work the ground at that time, when you were 10?
With horses.
With horses?
Yeah.
How many acres did you work?
Oh, we had, at various times but this particular farm that I still have out there now, had 132 acres in it, I believe.
Oh. Did you have livestock as well?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for someone who wants to start farming?
No, not today, because you've got to have some experience if you can go out here and make some money in a small way of farming.
It's hard for farmers to make money these days, isn't it?
For a small operation, yes.
How do you feel about people not farming anymore? Do you feel like it should?
Well, the prices will get high enough where they'll go back to farming. Some of them. You have to raise farm products out in the country where you can do it with big machines and things.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. How did you preserve the produce for the winter time when you were younger? What are some of the ways your mom did she can or dry the things?
Well, she canned everything she seen, and she dried things, and we salted our meat down, and we lived all right. It wouldn't be satisfactory today, but we didn't know any different, and we lived all right. We had plenty of milk, plenty of eggs. We had eggs where you couldn't give them away. We lived all right.
In a bad year, what did you do if your garden didn't produce as much? Did you always plant extra? Did you always have enough produce?
Oh, if you didn't use something else, you used turnips or something. We always had something to fall back on. And we had plenty of fruit.
What are some of your favorite memories of farming?
Well, I don't know whether it's a favorite or not, but back in the Depression days, things got awful hard to operate. I had cattle I kept for 2 years and sold for less than I paid for them.
What are some vegetables that somebody could grow in their garden that, if you're a beginning gardener, that are good to begin with? What are some of your favorite vegetables to grow?
You just asked that question. Peas is about the first thing you can plant, and your potatoes, and your green vegetables, and
Let's see. What are some things that are easier to grow than other things?
well, I would know everything you have to cultivate to keep the weeds down, and I don't know whether anything's much easier than one or the other.
Okay. Did you use pesticides in your day, or did you ever, when you were younger, did they have pesticides, or was it a natural garden?
Well, most of it was natural. We didn't have pesticides back in those days like they do today. You can hardly raise anything today without some kind of a poison spray or something to kill the first things. Take out alfalfa for one thing. They have a weevil that'll just eat it up today if you don't spray it. And most of the time you pretty much have to spray it twice to raise a crop. People don't raise it alfalfa like you used to,
Yeah.
for that reason. It's a poison spray, and it'll even penetrate your clothes and penetrate you. I've known people to die from it.
Ooh. Hmm.
They're very strict about the spray material now.
Let's see. Do you know what some of the crops? I know corn is an important crop in this area. Do the farming crops seem to be the same as when you were growing up? Or have they...
We don't raise corn in this crop in this area
You don't?
very much. It's gotten too expensive to raise. There's other section of the country not too far away that has a little better land, still raise it, and they'll have it, chop it up for instance, and especially dairy farms.
What are some crops in Warren County that are successful for this climate?
Well, most of the dairy has gone out of business. There's still just one dairy that I know about in Warren County, and labor has gotten so high that it's hard matter to keep labor and being able to. That's a 7-day a week work. Sunday, no holidays, unless you can afford to have some extra help to work those holidays, or switch. One will work on one holiday and the other next holiday.
So you never got to go away on vacation, did you?
No, those cows come in there, have to be tended to twice a day. They don't know whether it's Sunday or Monday.
Have any of your children gone into farming?
Ma'am?
Have any of your children or grandchildren become farmers?
No, they couldn't. I have two boys, and they couldn't farm. They just couldn't do it and survive.
So you're the last farmer in your family.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to add anything else? Any advice for the viewers?
No, I wouldn't like to advise anybody because one man can make it where another can't. I've seen people that tried to farm and just couldn't make it from inexperience. And today, people don't like to work like they used to. Back when I was coming up, we worked didn't make any difference about the hours. You didn't keep the hours dog. You just worked whenever. If a day was you had to making hay, you just worked as long as you could work. And the same thing is regardless of what you were doing. Today you work so many hours and your hip will crawl down and go away.
Okay, let's see. So you would advise somebody not to go into farming today?
Yes, unless they're doing it for just pleasure, or I have a neighbor or a doctor that farms just because he was raised on a farm.
Dr. Pattison?
Dr. Pattison, yeah. What do you know about Dr. Pattison?
He's in our 4-H club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he farms so he'll have some exercise, and he likes to do it. He don't make any money, I'll guarantee you.
Yeah. So unless you're a big operation, you just really can't make it as a farmer then.
You can hardly make it. We got some people that's still farming, but most of the big farmers is out of business. The biggest states is out of business because of the labor situation, mostly. Back when they were building up those big estates, they had cheap labor, and but practically our big estate, not only just in Warren County, but all over.
Were you born and raised in Warren County? Were you born and raised in Warren County?
Yeah.
Where was your farm? Where was your farm?
I was, on 340, 522. I still have it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's increased in value. That's about the best thing about it. But I can't sell it because the government take it. I bought it back, seeing when it didn't cost a whole lot of money, and today it's worth a lot of money. And the government will tax you, but I can hold it until after I'm gone, and my children can inherit it, regardless almost of what it brings.
What year were you born? Could I ask?
1902.
1902?
Yeah. Makes me 93. I'm turning 94 years old.
And I'm sorry, could I ask for your first and your last name again?
Hamlin Johns.
Hamlin Johns.
Johns.
And Hamlin?
That's right.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
It's one you don't hear very much.
It is. Well, I guess I should get down to the station. I wish I could stay longer.
Well.
Thank you.
Well, you're entirely welcome.